Good morning, everyone. Welcome to our next workshop. A lot of you have been a part of this earlier as well, but we are here with a new workshop today. I'm very happy to see our regular people. Hi, Shikha. Hey, Sanjay. Lots of familiar names. All of you, a lot of you have been with us before. And I'm sure you're going to enjoy today's session a lot. Very, very practical session. And as you know, Saket is wonderful with editing. So he's going to give us a tour of what it takes to do amazing editing on a mobile. Yes, that is correct, on your mobile device, which is typically a phone that we are using today. And we will be conducting this workshop through the phone itself. So Saket is currently logged in from his laptop, but he will switch to his phone shortly, and we will begin the workshop in another 2 minutes. So if you do have any questions, any clarifications, feel free to type in the chat box, and we will be happy to take them. But thank you for spending your Sunday morning with us. This is the fourth Sunday in the series that we are spending together with you and learning about different aspects of editing. So it's good fun for us, and I'm sure I hope it's good fun for you as well. Hi Vikram, how are you doing? I wonder what am I going to do next Sunday when we don't have a workshop? You are absolutely welcome, Shikha. It's great to have you here. Great to have you as a part of the workshop, and I'm glad you're enjoying this thing. We've started another new initiative called Shoot from Home, which is meant for not professional photographers or not professional aspiring photographers, but it's meant for professionals from other fields where they want to actually shoot their videos to be able to post online. So that's a very interesting initiative. We've already had 2 webinars in that, and we are planning to have more. The new one is coming up this Thursday, and that's what we plan to do, is teach people how to use their phones and their cameras to shoot videos right from their homes. So yeah, Kshitij, as he said, it's a free workshop, and feel free to join in. Yes, phone is what we are advising, but it's mostly to do with video. It's not to do with still. So this particular shoot from home workshop is about how to shoot effective videos from home. So it'll have how to shoot, how to record audio, and the whole thing, how the background should work and how everything should work, how you should speak into the camera. So many aspects of that are going to be covered. And this is the first in a series of 6 workshops. And so this is the free one, and then you will be given a lot of tips and tricks so that you can get started on shooting videos from home. So if you know someone who's a professional, who is a part of a corporate, who is looking at shooting either for their LinkedIn or for any purpose, they could be business owners, or they could be product manufacturers or sellers, or they could do product videos. So that's really good for them. So Kshitij, if you are ready and if you think everybody is in, let's get started. We have a lot to cover, and we can get going. Saket, are you ready?
Yes, sir.
Okay, excellent. So perfect. So let's get going. I think as people will join in. Hi Mohit, welcome to the workshop. As we get started, feel free to keep typing out questions or comments or suggestions right in the chat box. We will try and take them either along with what we are talking about. Today's workshop has a little bit of a free flow. We will be flowing as the layout and the panel of the software of the app. So last time, as I mentioned to everyone, that we had a particular structure, and we were following that. But today we would be following the structure of the app itself, and we will be talking about most of the features covered in the app. Now, there may be certain features which could be, or there may be certain results that you can get by combining many tools in it. So we may not go into that kind of depth, but you would have a good understanding of almost all the individual buttons, all the individual tools that are present there. So so it could be that for some people it may be fairly superficial, and for some people it may be a deep dive. So let's go have fun. Let's see how to work with mobile softwares. But yeah, we will of course be requesting you for the same, is that please stay on mute. If you do have a question, please type it in the chat or raise your hand digitally, and we will be able to unmute you. We will be asking you some questions, and we would love for you to participate and love for you to stay in touch with us on that. So let's get going. Saket, would you like to unmute yourself and get started?
Yeah, yes,
I will stop sharing my screen.
Yes, sir. So let's start with the mobile editing today. So I'm going to share my screen. So I guess everyone can see.
So this is Saket's phone. So we will be starting with Lightroom or Snapseed. What do you want to start with?
Snapseed.
Snapseed, excellent. Snapseed also takes a little bit of more time. It has a lot more options and features. So we will be going through all of those.
Yes, sir. So as you can see, this is the layout of the Snapseed. So where you can just tap in anywhere to open a photo. Okay. And these are the different settings if you want anything like dark theme or image resizing when you are exporting it. Okay. So there is a format.
Okay, you need to be a little louder today.
Okay, ठीक है sir. So this is the layout. So we'll start editing. Okay, and you can see here I can tap anywhere to open a photo. So I'm just tapping it. Okay. So let's start with photo, maybe landscape. Okay. So we'll start editing this photo. So this is just shot using a phone. This is shot using OnePlus only. Okay. So I'm gonna scroll
Saket, just a minute.
one.
So he's using a OnePlus 6T or OnePlus 7. What phone are you using?
6T.
OnePlus 6T. He's using a OnePlus 6T, and we are going to talk about how these softwares are working on an Android phone. So they may be minorly different on iPhone or iOS, but mostly we are talking about how they work on Android phones.
So the question is it a paid version of Snapseed? Snapseed is not paid, it's all free.
It's a freeware, free software.
Yeah, so the whole software is free. So some part of the Lightroom is paid, but Snapseed also free. Okay. So
no, Shikha, it's not very different. I think just basic capabilities are different on iOS. What happens in iOS is it's able to process raw photographs, raw images as well, which is not possible in on Android. Android is able to do only DNG formats, but it's not able to do both. in that too in Lightroom, but otherwise their
Yeah.
functionalities are pretty much the same.
Yes. So for this image, we'll start with the first option, like tuning image. So here we can, what we can see. So you can see different options. So I'll just just give me 1 second.
Saket, in developer options, you can
Yeah.
enable show tabs.
So just make me a co-host.
Yeah, just a second.
Yeah. So so here. So now you can see where I am touching. So you know how to do it. Okay. So just to go in the different setting, you just tap and scroll up and down. Okay. So we'll start with setting of our highlights. Okay. So majorly the highlights. What are the highlights? The highlights are the light part, or the where the light is more. Okay. And the
Just
shadow.
to add something, if you want to zoom in and zoom out, you have to use two fingers to zoom
Yeah.
in, or to move also you must use two fingers. That's why
Yeah.
you will see two dots appearing when he's moving the image when it is zoomed in. Yeah.
Yeah. So whenever you are using a one finger, it will start brushing, or it will start editing the picture. Okay.
Yeah. So when you use one finger, tap and hold, you will see this menu, and then you can scroll up and down to
Yeah.
select the options in that. Now, if you want to
Or
go, yeah, go ahead.
if you don't find that, it's here down below. You can just click on that and you can go through it.
If you guys want, you can also simultaneously use your phones. If you are on a laptop, you can also follow along. Um, we can actually, also if you have any image, you can try these things, whatever is there in that. Okay, great, Shikha, thank you.
Okay. So let's start with highlight. Okay. So we'll try to make highlight more appealing, or we'll get the details from the highlight. So we are decreasing the highlights so that we can get the details from here. So as you can see, I have reduced the highlight to -53. Now you can see the change. Just type right on the right top corner. There is one half image, like an icon. You can just tap it. So you can see before and after. Okay. So just tap it. You can see we have got the details on the sky where the highlights was more. Just now we have much more detail. Okay. Now we will enhance the shadow part. So you can see the trees here on the bottom side. So we'll try to enhance that. So for that we'll use shadows. Okay. So just increase the shadows so that you can get the details on the shadow part. Now as I'm increasing the shadow, you can see I'm getting the details on the lower part of the image. See. So I'm getting the details on the shadow parts. See, even on the clouds as well. Okay. See. So I'll not increase this much. I'll just push it to 20 or 25 as I guess. This is pretty much done for me. Okay. Now you can go on correcting brightness or contrast depending on your use. So I'll just boost the contrast so that it looks more appealing. Okay. So just boost it to 23 or maybe let's stick to 20. So whenever you are editing image shot using a phone, do not overdo anything. Okay. Because the phone doesn't capture that much detail what we can capture from the cameras because they capture raw files which are much more in size like 40 MB, 50 MBs. But the images of the phones are like 6-7 MBs which doesn't contain that much of details. So don't push any settings too much. Just boost it like 10-20% so that you can get a little pop out of that. Okay, so I have done this till now. I have got the details from the cloud and I have got the details in the shadow part of the mountains. Okay. So let's increase warm because the overall image is a little bit of blue. So let's do that on 10+10 only, not too much. Okay. So this is pretty much done for the tuning of the image. So you can tap and hold so that you can see the before and after. Okay. So is this clear? The first point, tuning of image, where we usually do just highlight shadows, or maybe if you want to add a warm or decrease the warm part. If it was an orange image, we would have decreased the warm so that we can add blue to negate it. Okay, so I'm not doing that. I'm just gonna go back. Okay. Am I clear to everyone, or is there anything? Okay.
Guys, just type a yes, whatever, yes or no to whatever question Saket is. We need a little bit of feedback from your side. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Thank you, Vikram. Thank you, Shikha. Thank you, Sanjay.
So now comes the second and third. So we usually do both together. Okay. So I'm just gonna go to the details. So where you can see two options. The structure is the structure is majorly the what you can say clarity part of that. So
Clarity and
whenever you
detail. Yeah.
increase the structure, you get more clarity. You get more
If you look
dramatic
at
kind
the
of
clouds, yeah, there's a lot of
yeah.
difference in the clouds you'll see.
So to increase the clarity or the sorry. So to increase the clarity, just increase the structure. Okay. And the second part is sharpening. So whenever you increase the sharpening, it just sharpens the image, or you cannot go beyond 0 or like dehazing a thing. Okay. So we just increase the sharpness to maybe +7 or plus. Okay. So this is done. So now you can see just using the two settings, just the tune image and the detail, we have got this image from here to here. Okay, we have added some of warmth in the shadow part of that image. So as you can see earlier, the image was little dull on the bottom part, but now we have good detail in that. Now, if you want anything to be added, like I
Just
have
a
done.
second, Saket. The
Yes,
question from Vikram is, what is sharpening doing here? Not much, because you're not really able to see the difference as much. But if you zoom in and then look at the individual edges, then you will realize that there will be. Now look at the edge of the mountain. The moment you increase sharpening, it becomes more defined. So that is what is happening. What that means is, especially where there's a difference in the color of the pixel, adjoining pixels are white and black, or there's a difference in shade, that is where you get to know more of sharpening. So that's where you get to know. This is good for, let's say, in facial features, when there is eye and skin, or edge of, let's say, a nose, edge of a nostril, ear. So the edges itself get defined a little better. That's what sharpening is. Okay. Go ahead, sir.
okay. So whatever we are editing, this is all non-destructive. You can go back and edit whatever you have edited before. Okay. So I'm just gonna show you if I wanted to add more warmth in the image. So I will not go and add one more tune up. Okay. So it will add up one more. I will show you. So I have just added one more tune up.
Yeah,
So
guys,
just go back.
remember this. This is a very, very cool feature. You can go back. Is like layers. You can go back to
Layers
any
in
layer.
Photoshop.
Yeah, yeah.
So just type, just touch on the upper top corner and you can see view edits. Whatever you have edited till now, it will show up. So as you can see, I have added two tunes, okay, two tune images. So I have not done anything in that. It's all zero. You can see there is no change in the settings. I have just added to show you. So I can go and delete it, okay, because I don't want that, but I want to add more warmth. So just tap in and just go to the settings and just add more warmth. Okay, let's add more warmth. Okay, okay. Now the trees are more green and the clouds is more like a sunset. Okay, now this was, okay, go back. This was
The
earlier.
good thing in this is that you can, let's say, if there are 3 or 4 separate steps that have already been done, you can go to an older step and change the details and change the values over there, and everything else after that will still remain active.
Yeah.
So that's a pretty cool feature. You can go, it's like going back in time and correcting it, and still keeping whatever was there done after that. So, and it can be accessed by going to the 3 dots on top right hand corner. And could you show that once again, Saket, how to go there?
Yes, sir.
Sorry, on the layer features, and then go
Yeah.
to view edits. And
Edits.
once you view edits, you will be able to see different things that were done. If you go and check on original, that means it will take you to the original photograph. But
Yeah.
now it's going to show you the work that was done for tune image, and then on
This
the
was
detail
tune.
part.
This was tune. This was your details.
What you do detail.
So whenever you click on the image, it will show whatever you have done with that one. So this was original tune and then adding detail. Okay. Now, if you want, you can add curves. Let's brighten the image a little bit. Okay. So you can just boost up the highlights. Make it done. Okay. So you have different presets that also you can use. So you can use the soft contrast, hard contrast, brightness, darkness. So there are different presets you can use if you want like a fitted. Okay. So the majorly the curves, how curves you works is that uh, the left part is all the shadows because this is the dark part. If I just drag this, just if I just drag this, you can see it's getting dark. Okay. If I drag the upper part of the image, this is more of highlights. So you can see it is affecting more of highlights. Okay. And this is affecting the shadows. Am I clear? Okay. So you can use different curves depending on your usage. There are different settings. I'll just use a soft contrast so that I can get more boost in the image, or maybe a faded, just a faded. I'll just edit this. I'll increase this part.
Okay. Or you can do a very traditional S-type curve.
Yeah.
Raise this and go dark on the shadows.
Just tap, just raise. Yeah. So this was before, this is after.
And this takes you to the before of the previous step, not of
not
the
of the
original.
whole. Yeah. But if you are tapping in the edit menu, you can go directly from the original to the edited whatever you have edited till now.
So this is important to know. If you want to see what you started with, you can, there's a way to do that. But if you just want to go to the previous step, there's a way to do that.
Yeah. So I'm going to discuss one major thing in here. So you can add text and you can mask it. Okay. So I'm going to discuss that feature because all other I will show in the different images or the different posts. Okay. So
guys, this part is very important.
Yeah.
Please make note of this. We will do it slowly, but this is a very, very handy and a very good tip that Saket is going to show you.
So I'll just go through the different settings so you can know what we have. Crop, you can just crop it whatever you want, like a square or 3:2 or 4:5. Okay, whatever you need. So the 4:5 is the Instagram ratio. If you know that you are going to post it on the Instagram only, so just crop it 4:5 so that you won't lose any of the image. Okay, so if I want to put it on the Instagram, I'm just cropping it for 4:5. Okay. So
the other way you can also do is, let's say if you are losing information, Saket, you can actually expand it a little bit.
Yeah. So I'm gonna come in.
Maybe you want to show that as well before you crop it off.
अच्छा. Okay. So
क्योंकि थोड़ा सा ऊपर कट हुआ ना 4:5.
Yes. So let's go back and delete this crop. Don't want that. Let's go back. So there is one more option. You can expand it. So this is the overall image. I can expand it whatever I need. I can go here or just a little bit. Okay. So you can see there are three options. I'm just if it's on the black, it's just adding a black frame, or if it's on the white, it's just adding a white frame. Okay, but we don't want to add a frame. There is just another option to add a frame, but we want to expand the background. So just click on the smart. It will expand it using its AI. Okay, so So if I want to expand it till here, it will just expand it. It looks pretty much good. Just that the lower part is pretty much clustered. It's added too much of towers. Okay. So I'll just go back and add a little bit, not too much. Okay.
Yeah, my experience is that if you do it a little bit at a time, it looks a little natural than if you do too much all at once. So it looks
Yeah.
quite fake, and because you are not really able to select where to take from.
Yeah. So it is analyzing by itself. Okay. So this is 3 options. So I'm
It
just
is like if you remember in Photoshop we had content aware fill, that it is analyzing the edges of what the content is, and based on that it is expanding from there.
yes, sir. So I'm just gonna click OK.
Guys, feel free to ask questions.
Okay.
Keep it interactive if you like.
And you can edit with me also, because you must have different images of landscapes and portraits, so you can start editing. Okay, right now only just looking here and just go through different options. Okay.
Yeah, and if you like, you can put it on the WhatsApp group that we've created. We'll be glad to also share that with other people if we but do send the before and after as well, so that we know what all you have done in that. So the group is called Mobile Editing, and if you're not a part of the group, please reach out to me or just type your number in the group in the chat, and we'll be able to add you there.
So Rohit, I have used the last feature called expand. You can expand your background or the image to whatever you need. Okay, but just make sure that the AI is working good, because now I have expanded it, but the lower part is got too much of towers and faded something and white part also. So I don't want that, but the clouds was good, but I will just increase a little bit so that I can post it on Instagram and crop it accordingly. Okay. So this white part, this is good because some phones get different abbreviations or kind of something, so you can justify that thing. Okay. So I will just click OK, and this was the edit which I have.
Yeah, Vikram, we will add you. Kshitij will add you. He's, I think he's on a call right now. He's just going to add you in a little bit. He's the admin for this group. Just give him a little moment.
So let's go to a very much exciting thing. We put a text and
Hang on. Saket, sorry. You've expanded it, no? Then go back to the crop, so that वो 5x4 बिना कटे हो जाए, एक दफा वो complete करना.
Let's go to 5x4, 4x5 and crop it. Okay. So now we are not cropping too much of the image. It's ऊपर also and नीचे थोड़ा सा भी. ठीक है. So this is done. This is pretty much done. Now let's add a text. So this shot was taken on Manali, so I'll add a text Manali.
Just a second, Saket, Shikha has a question.
Yeah.
She needs a little input on image sizing.
Image sizing, okay.
Just go back on the crop part and we can just talk about. So is that what you mean, Shikha, from the crop part? So these are various resolutions that you can, various sizes. How do I know what image size do I need? So typically there will be an original photograph ratio that it was shot in, which came with the photograph when you shot it in the camera or whatever device you. So besides that, if you want to go into any other format, for instance, if you want to do a square format for a certain place, Instagram earlier used to take only square formats. Or in certain places, the image itself can look very interesting in a square format. So yeah, so that's where you can go and choose square. Or if you were to do currently Instagram and know how exactly it will look in that, then a 4:5 or 5:4 is something that you can choose. Now, of course, you can also rotate it, and yeah, 16. Yeah, so this is rotating the frame itself. 16:9 is for the desktop of your phone, the wallpaper of your phone. A lot of phones these days are 16:9. We are not really changing the resolution or the image quality, Vikram. We're only cropping it. So yes, it will lose pixels for sure. But that is in cropping, unfortunately, is a destructive edit. So that comes with the tool itself. There's nothing that you can do about that. You are deleting pixels and choosing a certain part of the pixels to be there only. So, Shikha, any other questions on that? Any other? Did you get it? So it's based on choice of where you are going to post it or where you need it. For instance, you need it for a certain kind of print or a certain kind of device. So hence the size of the device, the native size of the device, the screen will dictate what kind of size do you actually crop it for. Go ahead, Saket. We can move to the next point, I hope.
So we'll just add a text. So there are different text options. You can just add text and just leave it there. You can do that. If I want to add some quote or something like that on the below part or maybe a upside, I can do that. Okay, so you just tap it and drag it here and there. So okay. And you will get different options to play with the text. Okay, different forms. If you want like simple, so it comes with a font. So you cannot change the font, but you can change the text in everything and every. So this same with a much more bold and much more small line. This cursive, different fonts with different edits. So if you want us make a poster or something kind of that, you can just edit that part. Okay. If I want to add a shop snaps, I can do that. Okay. So there are different options you can use.
You just snapped the workshop. Okay.
Yeah. So I'll just.
I'm glad you didn't snap anybody's neck.
So I'll just add text Manali because this was shot on Manali and I want to highlight that part. So I'll just zoom in using 2 fingers. You can see. Okay. So now I want to place it so that it looks it's behind the horizon or behind the mountain. Okay. So I'll place it accordingly where it fits or it should look stand. So I'm just standing the A or L, let's say L on the mountain. Okay. So I'm just placing it the L. Just look at the L. It's just standing near to the mountain. So we'll just mask it out the mountain part so that it looks that the text is behind the mountain. Okay. So I'm just clicking OK. So this is done. Now I'm going to go to the edit. Now you can see I have created different layers. So whatever I have done till now, it's shown here. but I want to edit the text. Okay, so if you want to change the text, you just click here and just double tap on that and just change the text. But I don't want that. I want to mask it out. So just look here. There is small brush on the square. Just click on that. Okay. Now you can't see the text where it is. So what you have to do, just invert. It's on the left bottom corner. So you can see the text now. So this was the edit. Okay. Now what we have to do, what we have to erase the text on the mountain. So how can we do that? So you can
Just
see.
notice, guys, when you invert it, then it became zero text, right? If you click it again, then it becomes 100. So that is the visibility of the extent of masking.
Yeah.
Go
So
ahead.
now I'll just brush out the text which are in front of the mountain. Okay. So now you can see the text is zero. So if I just brush it, it will remove. Okay. If I just make it 100 text, it will come again. Okay. So this is what the brush intensity is. So if I increase 100, it's all text. If I increase to 50, decrease to 50, it's making it fade. Okay. So I want all the text, all solid. Okay. And I just want to remove it from the mountain. So I'll do zero text. I'll zoom in so that I can get accuracy, and I will just brush it out. Okay.
This is a 2-finger zoom.
Yeah. So it takes just little time and precision.
The way for precision is to zoom in, because the size of the brush will change with respect to the size of the image. So it suddenly becomes a smaller brush. And if you've done more than what you need, you can always change it back to text 100 and bring it back.
Yeah.
Just show that also. If you can erase more than
Yeah.
what you need, let's say
If I
extra, how
have
do you bring
erased
it
like
back?
this,
Yeah.
if I have done this, so I will just go back on the 100 text and just paint it over the text. Sorry.
It's a little feathered brush, so it is.
Yeah.
The hardness is
So you
less.
can
Yeah.
see how you have brushed it. So just click on the eye. So you can see where the mask is. Okay. So I have to use it like this. I can do that as well. So you know at least where you are brushing. Okay. So I'll just feather the L because there is no base on that, so that it looks it's here somewhere inside.
On the cloud.
Now just see. The text was what was earlier and now what this is. So you can just mask it out. Okay.
And
So
this is
if you
great to
want,
make posts. This is
yeah.
great to make any kind of poster that you like, etc. Great for social media work.
So if you want to feather the edges, you can do that as well. Just go back on the masking only and just increase it to 75 only and just mask it, feather it out so that it should not look too sharp.
The good thing about this is that it is completely non-destructive. You can go back and forth. You can retrieve what was lost, or you can what you think was lost, or you can kind of go back and change the level of the edit as well.
I don't like that feathered one. I'll just keep it sharp.
Masking is Rohit. It's like a covering. It's like actually as the mask says, it covers the visible area. So that's what masking is. So what it is actually doing is that it is covering certain parts of the text. Actually, it's not deleting it. It's only covering it, so it shows. It seems that the mountain is in front of the text. The feathering is done by the same tool. Just go back to the masking at 75. Okay.
So how do you feather? Just don't add 100% text, just decrease it to 75, zoom in and just brush it. So it will make it feathered. You can see the intensity is low.
And this is a very creative decision. If you like it a certain way, you can even have holes inside the text. You can see through the text or make the whole thing at 50% or 75%. That's your choice.
Definitely. So this is pretty much done for this image. Okay. If I want to add anything, maybe a frame, so that it looks more good. Okay. So just click on the frames. So you will be able to edit different frames. Okay. So there are 23 options. You can click. You can see whatever you want and whatever you like. If I like, just let's see, ninth one. Okay. So I can keep it whatever they have got, but there is one more option, this frame width. You can see on the top. You can increase it or decrease it, whatever you want to, or whatever it's your need. Okay. So I'll just add a thin line of a frame. So I can do that.
It's done the same way, clicking and tapping and moving your finger right or left.
Yeah.
Like you did for any other setting.
Yeah, definitely. So this is done for this image. If I want to add more grain or something like that, so that it looks more vintage kind of thing, I can do that using a tool called grainy film. Okay, I can add grains, I can decrease and increase as well, and you will get different presets with that. Okay, so different, if I want to make it look like this or whatever so let's stick to B01. I can add different settings. If I want to add grain, I'll just increase the grain. You can see this is 100. I'll just add maybe 5 or let's add 9. Okay. And I can increase the strength of the style. Whatever I have colored, so I can decrease that as well. If I don't want that much of intensity, I can decrease that, or I can increase as well. So I'll just stick to 50. Yeah. Now you can see. This was earlier. Now this is.
Pretty cool, Saket. Well done. What types of images can use grain? Yeah, a lot of times, grain looks very good in anything that you want to make look slightly old. Could be a black and white image or anything that you want to give it a little bit of a dated or period kind of a look. So that looks nice. It can look good in portraits as well. So you really have to kind of experiment and see. The landscapes are also sometimes it can look good if you give it a little bit of a mood, and that can look good. Kshitij, we need you to add Vikram to the WhatsApp group, please.
Okay. So now comes the export part, where you can export your images. Okay. So there are different options. You can directly share this image to anyone. I just clicked on the share. Okay. I have got different options. I can share it anywhere I want, but I just want to save. So this is the saving. The photo is saved. Okay. Or you can export by changing some settings. Let me see. You can see. Now you can see. So this is the details of the image. It's same as that. Okay. Shot on 1+ resolution and time of edit shutter speed. So this is the export. Just click on export. Create a copy of your photo. Change sizing, format, quality in the settings menu. Okay. So you can go to settings and you can change your image sizing. Like if you want to resize or something like that, it will export on that quality. If I want a lower resolution, always I will just keep on 800 pixels. Okay. I want to decrease the quality, or if I want to export a PNG, I can do that.
Vikram, your earlier question about quality, etc. This is where you can change the quality and the resolution. Cropping will lose pixels, of course, but they don't have to if you don't.
Yeah.
Great, thanks.
Or if you want to export it to a specific folder, just go on export as. So you will get different options where you want to export it. Okay. So this is done for this image. Okay. So now you can click on the open. So you can open another image, or you can just go back and exit. You can do that. Okay. So this is workshop. So
Saket, can you go back to Manali image? Can we also just take a look at the other tools that, or do you want to show that on different images?
yeah, I just want to show that on the different image.
On different, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, great, thank you.
So let's open another image. Let's edit a portrait. Okay. So let's start with this image. Okay, so there are different settings you can do that. Let's start with just tuning an image. You can also use auto tune. You can just click it and it will make the settings automatically depending on the image. But we don't want that. We'll just go back to the image. I'll just decrease a little of highlights so that I can get details. I'll just increase the shadows so that I can get the halo which I have created on the during the shoot. Okay. If I want to add contrast or brightness, I can do that. Let's increase little of maybe 7. Let's increase the brightness. Not too much. So you can see I have not done anything much. Okay. So I'm going to show you a setting or a feature called portrait. You can just simply edit a portrait in this. Okay. It's simple and easy. So you can get you will get different presets like spotlight 2, smooth 1. So the combo works with all the 3 settings which we are gonna get. Okay, so the face light is on 30s, 30% skin smoothing on 20, and eye clarity is on 20. So you can go back and edit whatever you want. Just start with anything. Okay, so I'm just clicking on the combo one. So I'll make a skin more smooth, maybe 50%. Let's go to 60%. So now you can see the detail skin smoothing.
Could you show that again? I think Vikram missed that part, the portrait part.
Okay. So this is the image. Just go to the tools and portraits.
It's the second row from the bottom. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Now there are different options or kind of presets. You can apply it directly and click OK. But if you want to edit, you can just click on anything and then you can edit any presets. Okay, so I'll just start with a combo one because it comes with skin smoothing and three more features, which is more of a balance. You can see the settings on this. If I on spotlight 2, so you can see this face spotlight is 70%, skin smoothing is 10, and eye clarity is 30%. Okay, so I can start with any preset I want. Okay, so I'll start with a more of a balanced kind of thing, combo one, and I'll increase the skin smoothing because it was just 20%. So I'll increase it more. Let's go to 50%. Okay, so we just see this was earlier, just a little bit, not too much. Okay, now I'll add high clarity so that you can see the catch light is changing. I getting more of light. Okay, so I'll stick to just 50 or maybe less of 40% only, and I'll increase the spotlight so that all the attraction goes to the face, not anywhere. Okay, I'll increase it to 70%. Okay, then if I am good to go, I can just click on. Okay. So now you can see before and after. Right? This is pretty much done for this. Now, if I want to just post it on the Instagram, I'll just crop it. Let's go to 4:5. Resize it. And just crop it. Okay. So I will discuss the healing on this and a glamour glow. Okay. So healing can be done if you want to heal something or maybe a small spots or something like that. You can do that. If I want to just heal this hair out, so I'll just try to zoom in so that it takes a small part. Okay, if I using this image or like not zoomed in, if I just tap it, so it just destructs all where I have touched. Okay, so I'll just do undo and I'll just use that. Now I guess this is more good than earlier. Okay, so you can heal whatever you want, small things. If I want to just remove this hair, so this healing tool, so that not, not great. Just do in small steps. Don't go like this, not that. Okay. So just go in small steps because it is. So my screen is. Everyone can see my screen now.
Yeah, we can.
Yeah. Okay. So you can just heal whatever you want. Okay. So and then just click OK. Or you can see a before after if you have done something or not. Okay. So this is the healing brush. Okay. Now comes to glamour glow. So what it does, it makes the skin glow. Okay, it adds a skin tone color in that. There are two more options where you can increase the saturation. You can see this is majorly affecting on the skin, not anything and or anywhere else. It is just popping the shirt color, but not that much respect of the skin. Okay, so I'll just add not too much warmth. You can go to the skin tone, or you can just use this preset. I'll just reduce the glow, not too much. I'll just add to 25 or 26 and done. Okay. So there are different presets also. You can use that as well. Okay. If I want to do that, I can do that. I'll just decrease the glow. There is no saturation, no warmth. It's all on 0. I can increase the saturation a little bit and warmth so that it gets more of a skin tone, more orange or yellow. Okay. Now this was earlier. This was now. So what I have used till now, I have used the tune image to just set the lights, highlights, and all this. And I have used the portrait setting. Okay. And I have used the crop to crop it, healing to heal just small parts, and the glamour glow to just make the skin more glow. Okay. Now you can do a select lens blur. Okay. So if I want to highlight the face part only and make other things blur, I can do that. Okay. So if I am increasing it to left to right, it is increasing the blur strength. I guess you can see. Okay. So there are different settings. You can tune, you can transition, you can increase the transition. Okay. So let's make it more feathered. Let's decrease the blur strength, not this much. Let's increase to like maybe 10. This is more. Okay. So you can increase your vignetting strength. So you can see it is getting more dark or on the outside. Okay. So you can use accordingly wherever you want to, or if you don't want, just make it 0. Okay. And you can use your 2 fingers to rotate and make different shapes according to your image. If I want to keep it like this, I'm using 2 fingers and zooming in, zooming out. Okay. So this is what we have done till now. So you can change different shapes also. This was circle. You can use a pentagon, hexagon, whatever you want. Okay. So just one more thing. This is on the circle. If you want it on the square or on the line part, you can do that. Okay. So just tap in. It will make a circle or a line. You can change the different settings, same as earlier. If you have maybe a landscape or something, So the circle won't work for you. The lines will work more. So you can just place it on your horizon and you can blur the upper part of the image. Okay, so I'll stick to this. I'll just go back and see what I have edited. Okay, so this is the lens blur. Okay, this is glamour glow. This is healing top. Okay. So now what we should do in this image, let's make it more of kind of black and white, or add a noir, maybe a filter. Okay, so you can use different kind of black and white on using a noir. Okay. So you will get different presets. You can start with that and start editing that. So I'll stick to first one only, and I'll increase different settings or decrease different settings. Let's decrease first the filter strength. I don't want that too much. I'll just add till 80. I don't want any grain. I want to make it more clear, sharp. Okay. Brightness, not too much, just 1 or 2%. Okay. Wash. You can see how wash is working. I guess let's stick to 25. No grains. Filter strength is okay. Let's click okay. Now this is more black and white image. Okay. Now we can add a frame so that it looks pop out. Yeah. So this was earlier. This is now. Okay. So we have edited portrait on the Snapseed just using 3 steps, and I guess this is good to go and good to post on the Instagram. Okay, you can crop it if you want a square or maybe a different whatever you want.
Show the head pose on the portraits.
Yeah. So
that's an interesting feature.
Yeah. Now comes the interesting, or you can say a funny part. Okay. So if you want your model to make a chin down, a chin up, you can do that. Just click on head pose. And now just click and drag down. You can change the...
Observe the face carefully.
Yeah. So it's changing the face up and down, left and right. Okay.
So this is the way you can have a girl say yes.
So you can do that. You can change the settings as well. If you want pupil size to increase.
Zoom in.
Want smile.
No, Saket, don't do that.
If you want to zoom in, zoom out, you can do that. But don't use till it's extremely needed. Okay. So this was for the portraits. So you can just
go back into the tools and just show the name of the feature. It's called head pose.
Head pose.
On the second line from the bottom in the center. Yeah. And try and use it, only a little bit at a time. Even if the smile, otherwise it looks very fake.
Yeah, definitely. So just you can export it, the settings you have. You can just post it. I guess this is good. Okay. Now, one more feature is the double exposure. You can use 2 different images and you can blend in both the images together and make a looking different image. Okay, all together. So let's open. Let's take this image. This is Shelvet shot. Let's go to, you can start editing different like a tuning details or if you want. Okay, so I think this is good image to start for me. Okay, so I'll just go on the double exposure part. So what you can see is just add, it just gives an option to add an image. On the lower part you can see. So I'll just click on that and you can just select maybe mountains or maybe a tree or something like that. I'll just add a tree. Okay, so this is fixed. If you wanted to keep it here only, you can do that. Okay, now this is done. So you can change different blending options. Okay, so if you want it to go away from the light part, you can do that. You want to negate it, it will just subtract the black part from the image and just keep it there. Okay, you can add both the images together. You can subtract both the images. So it has subtracted and it has kept only the green part which we have added, and this is overlay. So let's go to lighting so that it just takes away from all the colors and it just stick to the black part only. Okay, I'll just click. So you can increase the opacity, you can decrease it, but I won't do that. I'll just make it lighter. Okay. And just I'll click OK. But you can see it's all around the image, not on the edges. Okay, so what we can do, we can just erase it or just mask it out. Okay, so you can just go on the edit, double exposure, just mask it out. Now you can't see, but we'll just do this. This is the invert option. Okay, what we'll do, we'll make it 0 double exposure. You can see it's 0. Okay, so I'll just zoom in and brush it out. Just make it more clear. Just give some time and make it crisp and sharp. You can definitely take a silhouette shot and edit a sunset in between. It's more. I guess I have done. Okay, you can see what I have masked out. Let's remove this as well. Might be something here. Whenever you drag, just use 2 fingers, otherwise it will start brushing there. Okay, so this is done. So we have used double exposure to just fill in the image. Okay, so this was before, this is after. Now you can just make it tune something, maybe increase little of contrast, increase the shadows, or decrease it. Okay. Add more of a warmth.
Rohit, this is just a feature, double exposure. We're just demonstrating that. It's entirely your creative choice if you would like to use this feature or not.
Yeah. I think the double exposure is clear. If you have any doubt or something, you can go and edit on this. May add a filter, expand it, or change the white balance, whatever you want. You can edit above this. Okay. You add a frame. Let's first crop it. Let's crop it. Now add a frame. Small thin line. Now you can export it.
Shikha, the function of ambience is to, a lot in portraits, you can actually decrease or increase the amount of brightness in the ambience in a portrait. If you play around with that, you'll realize that the ambience becomes darker, whereas the portrait stays the same brightness.
So I guess more.
And that's in tune-in. Ambience is in tune-in. Guys, any questions? Saket has done some very amazing stuff right on his phone. Any questions, any clarifications, any things that you feel right now? We are at 12:20. We have already spent about an hour and 15 minutes in this thing. We do want to move to Lightroom. So if there are any questions in Snapseed, Snapseed is a more detailed software with a lot more features. So that's why we do have to spend more time in it. So, but we would like to move on to Lightroom right now and maybe come back to Snapseed later. So if there's nothing right now, just hold on to your questions and then we'll come back to Snapseed. But I do want to cover Lightroom. Lightroom is definitely much simpler. But yeah, we will still go ahead and introduce you to all the features in Lightroom. Now we are working on the subscription version, the paid version of Lightroom. So certain features that you will see over here are not available in the free version. So go ahead, Saket, all yours.
Yeah. So I am working with a free version. So sir is gonna take you to the versions which is paid.
Okay, excellent.
Yeah. So I'll show you whatever the features you will get using a free version. Okay. So this is the layout of the Lightroom. You can see all the images, what you have imported or exported, or what you have edited. Okay, you can see the peoples. It will just tag it according to the using the AI. Okay, so if I want to click an image, I'll just click on the photo and I'll allow and will start my camera so that I can click it and I can just edit it there only. Okay, but if I want to edit, I can go on the edit part. Okay, if I want to edit, let's see. Just give me a second.
Yeah, it's a faster software, a lot more ways to put presets. And if you have the paid version, then you can also synchronize it with the one on your laptop. So it's just a tool to edit. If you would like to learn about it, then yes, please do download it. And otherwise, it's really an option. I love Snapseed. There's a lot that can be done on Snapseed, and usually more can be done on Snapseed than on Lightroom. Besides the presets, of course, which can then be brought into the phone version as well.
So I have just gone to the folder which I have imported. I have kept my images. So you can see this workshop Snapseed. I will go. So you can import as many as images you want. If I want to import this or maybe this or this, okay. So I can add 3 images simultaneously. So now you will be able to see all the 3 images which I have added now. So now what Lightroom does is it takes the raw format in the DNG form in Android phones, but in the iPhones you can directly import your raw files from the camera and you can start editing. Okay, so the left two ones are the phone shots. This is a kid or there is a girl sitting down, and the right part which is with the bokeh. So this is the raw image. So that is why it is taking little more time. Okay, so this is the raw. This is DNG form. So let's start. Not start with this. Let's start with this kid. Okay. So you can see different options scrolling on the bottom part. So we'll go through it.
Just 1 second, Sakit. So for those who can see the bottom menu, there are certain features that have a little dot on them. Selective, healing, and if you move to the right socket,
Yeah.
in the then it has geometry. These features are enabled in the paid version. These are currently not activated on the unpaid version. So you can do most of the stuff in the unpaid version, the free version. But if you want access to all the features, then it's great to have the paid version, which could be Adobe Creative Cloud, which is a subscription model, or if you're just buying the software. Go ahead, Saket.
Yeah. So here also we can start with cropping. Okay, so you can crop accordingly where whatever you want to need. If you want to keep the image like this only, you can do that. But if you want to crop it, you can do that. Just click on the originals first. Just click on the crop. Click on the originals. You will get different sizes wherever you want. If you want a custom, just click on the custom, and you can just click on the custom, and you can crop it whatever you want to. Okay, but if I want to keep it original, I can do that. So I have kept it original, no cropping. Okay, if I want to crop it or just post it on Instagram, I can use a 4:5. Okay, if I want to make a poster story, so I can use a 9:16, which is our phone resolution, screen resolution. Okay, so you can see it has zoomed in. Okay, so I can crop it whatever I want to, but I don't want to crop this image. You can rotate as well or make a flip. Okay, you can use different things. Okay, so but I don't want to crop. I want to just edit all the image which you are seeing. Okay, so starting with, there's just an auto feature. It will just automatically add highlight shadows or whatever they want to. It will just edit it according the AI which is enabled in the Lightroom. Okay, so you can see this was earlier, this is now. Okay, but it's more overexposed image. I don't want that, so I'll just undo that. Okay, I'll use lights. Okay, so this is a feature, or this is the setting where we use uh, lights to set our image. So you can always increase or decrease your highlights, whatever you want. Okay, but majorly we decrease the highlights so that we can get the details from the highlights, because those were the parts where we have more of a light. If you can see, if I am increasing it, I am losing the details as well. But if I am decreasing it, I am getting the details. Okay, you can see this is the before, after. Now I have got the details on the face, on the background. Okay, now second part. Now it has become more dark. Let's increase the shadows. You get the details on the shadow part as well. Now we can increase the whites if you want. If you want to decrease, make it fade or desaturated kind of thing, you can do that. Oh, but let's increase the white so that it pops out. Let's make blacks more black. Yeah. So I have just used 4 sliders till now. So this was the earlier, this is now. Okay. Now let's increase the contrast. You can increase it too much, but don't do that because it's a phone shot. It doesn't contain that much of quality what we have in the camera shots. Okay. So this is done. You can use curves to do these things as well. Okay, so this left corner, bottom left corner comes with the shadows. So if I decrease this, it is decreasing the shadows on the shadow, decreasing the details on the shadow parts. But if I am increasing it, it is making it more white. Okay, same as the highlights. If I am increasing it, this is increasing the highlight. If I am decreasing it, this is decreasing the highlights. Okay. So if I want to make it a S curve, which we have did it earlier as well, I can do that. It adds more of a contrast. Okay. Let's make it less, not too much. Okay. Done. So you can edit different colors as well. So this is gonna affect only the red channel. So you can see it is affecting the red, whatever the red in the image, it's affecting. Okay, it's same as the green. Okay, so let's not do that. Let's stick to the S curve only. Okay, so now this was the light. Now comes the color. So you can change the white balance of this image, same as what we have seen in the Snapseed also. You can add more warmth, you can decrease the warmth or more cool. Okay, you can just double tap, it will go back to its initial state. You can increase, you can add a tint, but we won't do that. We'll stick to the whatever we have. So let's increase the vibrance. So what vibrance does is, it doesn't affect more, much of skin tone, but it affects the overall image and of the color. But if I am increasing the saturation, it is increasing all. Okay, so we'll increase the vibrance. Let's increase the saturation, maybe a 1% or 2%. 5 is too much. 2%. not too much. Yeah. Now you can see this was the shot we had started with. Now looking more faded or desaturated. Now it has colors, details. Okay. Now you can see the cap has also a detail and the color is also popping out. Now what you can do, you can tweak each and individual colors using a mix tool. So there's a whole lot of colors, whatever you want. If you want only the blue, you can just click on the blue, increase the saturation or decrease the saturation, or maybe change the hue depending on your need or your creativity. Okay. So I won't do that anything because this is more popped out. Every color is popping out. Okay. So one more thing that you can see a dot and arrow around. Okay, so you can just click and increase it. Just click on this. Just now you can see it is just changing the color where I have clicked or I have pointed out. So I have clicked on the blue, it is changing all the blue. If I have to click on this yellow, this is just changing the yellow part. Okay, so if you are getting confused that which color I should tweak on, and so just click on that, whatever you want, just click and just go up and down. It is adding saturation. If you want luminance, just click on the luminance and you can do that. Okay. So I won't do that. I will just go back. So there is no change in the color. Okay. So now comes effect. You can increase your texture, increase your clarity, increase dehaze. If there is a haze in the image, you can vignette it so that you just grab your focus to the subject. Okay. Feather rate rounded. Just increase the texture. Not too much, just 8 or 9 something. Okay. And so this was the effect. Okay. Clarity. You can see it's adding more of blacks. Let's increase 4. So okay. Now the third is the details. Okay. So you can increase the sharpness if you want. Okay. So just increase the sharpness. And the noise reduction if you want, if there is a noise, or if you want your image to be more smooth, you can increase your noise reduction. Okay, so you can see this is more with details and all, and this is with 100% noise reduction. So let's not make a noise reduction because it is damaging the image quality. Okay. So this was earlier. Now this is okay. So I have what I have done. What I have done, I have just changed the light and the color of the image. I haven't done anything extra. Okay. So if you are shooting with a wide angle or a camera which distorts your image or add chromatic aberrations, So you can remove this using an optics. Okay, this is same as what we have seen in the Lightroom of a desktop version. Okay, so if you are shooting with the 18 mm, it makes a distortion on the corners. So you can remove, you can use a chromatic aberration to remove that, and you can correct the lens profile as well. Okay, so it is taking automatically, but you can select the camera profile manually. Just go and use a Nikon or a OnePlus or whatever. Let's see OnePlus. This is shot on OnePlus, so there is no OnePlus 60. Sorry, so it is just taking a OnePlus 70. So you can do that just like a auto. Okay. It is distortion on 100%. But let's not do that because there is no distortion. I can't see anything distorting. It's all flat image. Okay.
Also, talk about how if you want to go back and reset the, go into
Yeah.
the reset one.
Yes.
Now
So
we can go back.
so if you want, you can just undo your settings. But if you want, you can reset all your image, or you can start editing. Because if you just go back, it will stick with the editing what you have done. But if you want to just start it over, just reset. You can reset your adjustment, or maybe import, or you can reset all. Just reset all. So you can do that. Maybe, and if you want to go back, you can do that, reset all settings also. Okay.
This is a little like in Snapseed, where you were able to go back and choose either adjustments or whatever it was. But it doesn't let you, so all adjustments will be under the same button. It doesn't let you choose different layers here. That's the difference.
So I will show you one more feature. You can use different presets as well. If you want uh, maybe natural or bright or maybe a matte finish, you can do that. But whenever you are using a preset, just start with a preset, don't with a light and anything. Just let's start with preset. Let's reset all this. Just go to preset, apply a preset, whatever you want, maybe anything. Just start with the preset, and now just set your images. Okay, there are different presets. Light preset. Preset, matte, and just click on the OK on the top right corner. And now start editing. Okay, now start you changing the highlights or the colors. Okay, so if you want, you can increase the shadow so that you get the detail. Let's decrease the highlights more. Okay, let's decrease the contrast so that it looks more fade. Okay, and this is okay for me because it is keeping the matte finish, but it has exaggerated all the settings. Okay, so I have increased all the things, like the highlight was going here till here only. I have increased it. Okay, now you can edit your colors as well. So you can see the saturation is on -25. If you want more faded, you can go on this. But if you feel that -25 is too much, you can go on -10 or -15, something like that. If you want to increase the vibration, you can do that. If you want to decrease, you can do that. So I have started with a preset, and this was Now this is earlier. Okay. So I'll show you how to import presets. So whenever you get an image or a preset, so there are 2-3 options. You can just import different presets. Uh, you can get a DNG file of the preset and just import it here so that you can copy a settings and just apply it here. Okay. So if I want any preset, let's say starting with, let's see, I want to import this different presets. So just add different presets and add it. So it has added a lot of images. It is adding it. So what you have to do, you don't have to edit. Don't edit this image. Okay. Just click on that top right corner, copy settings. Okay. Copy it, or you can, for that, for the simplicity purpose, you can just create a preset of this settings. You can just click on the create preset, maybe just click it and just done. Okay. Now let's go back to our image. Let's start with this. Just go on the preset and don't on the color. You have saved your preset on the user presets. So I have this. Let's apply it. Okay. Just click OK. Now just set your lights. If I want details on the shadows, let's increase it. Let's make it.
Okay, was this a DNG file when you started? Was this a raw file?
No.
Okay.
This is just an image or JPEG image only, but we have extracted the details from the DNG files. So this is Lightroom. You can call it a Lightroom preset, where you will get all your settings on a DNG file. You just copy it.
Okay. So no, I was talking about the original image.
This is just an image shot using a OnePlus 60 only.
Okay, on phone itself.
Using my phone.
Okay, yeah. Excellent. Go ahead.
Okay, so I'm just gonna demonstrate you a Lightroom preset from the start. Okay, so if you want, just if you want any preset, so just get the preset in a DNG form. Okay, so from the website or wherever you want, just download the DNG form, import it. As you can see, I have imported it. Just click on this, whatever you want. If you want this setting, if you want this, whatever preset you want, just click on that. Just copy the settings, because it is carrying all the settings of a preset, same as what we use on a Lightroom desktop version, where we just click on and we just change different settings. Okay, so and it creates a preset. You can see preset is like all set previously, or you can say it is all created previously. Okay, so just click on that, copy settings, one option, or you can create a preset of this image. So you can click on the preset, just click a number, let's say dark 2. So you can change the group as well, or maybe create a new group, but let's keep it on the user presets only. Just tap right and just go back. Okay, so now you have created two presets of your images for from your images. Okay, so user preset dark mode 2. If I want to apply that, then I'll just click on that. It's easily applicable. If I want to work on the first one as, so I can do that. Okay, so I'll just click on the OK part, and now I will set the lights. Okay, I'll decrease the highlights, or maybe I'll increase the shadow so that I can get the details on the shadow part, and I can just go back on the white so that I can get white because it's on the negative side. Okay, I'll just go back on the black as well so that it gets the detail on the black, and the exposure is also down. Okay, so I'll just edit it, make it the neutral or whatever it has shot on. Okay, so this is good for the light. Let's go to color. If you want to make it more warm, you can do that. If I want to stick to original, you can just double tap it, it will get neutral. But let's stick to the preset one, maybe 15, 14. Okay, let's increase the vibrance. So now you can see the skin tone is more of a orange and more yellow because of the preset. So what you can do, just go on the mix. This is yellow, this is all desaturated, but orange, you can make it more desaturated. Okay, now it is getting the skin tone, you can make it pop. You have to analyze your image to change different colors. Okay, whatever I have seen, or if I want to edit that, I'll just go on that color and edit that. So now one more thing, I will just go on the mix. I'll just add a blue so that it pops out. The back colors is also popping out. So okay, let's increase the aqua as well. Yeah. Now this was the earlier which I have shot using phone, and this is now using a preset. Okay, so I guess everyone is clear how to use a preset. Okay, now you can do maybe a texture, clarity, whatever you want. Okay, just scroll on different settings and just keep adding or subtracting, because this was we have used the preset, all the setting was changed. It has increased the sharpness to 28. It has increased the noise reduction also. Okay, so it has increased that clarity also. If you want more clarity, you can do that. If you want to dehaze as well, you can do that. Okay, if you want texture, we don't want texture here. We are pretty much good. Okay. So is there anything left? You want to edit anything? You can see different versions on version. So these are the current, this is current, this is original. Okay, you can see current edits. Okay,
Guys, if there are any questions, please do ask while we are discussing this. We are approaching 12:50 already.
yeah. So this is for the free version. You can use this settings on the free version. Okay. So if you have anything or any doubt or anything on importing or preset, So we'll just send you all the presets which we have used in this. We have around 5-7 presets which we will send to you so that you can use it. Just copy your settings and copy that settings and paste it on your images. Okay. So what do you say?
Okay, thanks, Sakit. So I'm going to quickly share my screen and show you the features of 2-3 extra features for those who are interested. Just a second. Sakit, can you help me share my screen as well? It's showing as disabled.
Okay.
Shikha, to answer your question, see, Snapseed is a fairly powerful software. The only reason why you would have a Lightroom on both your laptop and your phone is if you want to transfer images between those, or if you want to transfer presets between those. But otherwise, I think Snapseed is a fairly comprehensive software. Okay, I'm going to share my screen. Okay. Okay, so this is my Lightroom that you can see. I'm going to choose one of the photographs, which is right here. And no, this is not a photograph which I clicked. It is taken by a very good friend of mine. And so what we're going to do is, if you see down here, uh, where I'm clicking, selective, healing, and geometry don't have the blue spot. So this is a paid version. So I don't have to pay twice. I pay once for a license. So my laptop has a paid version, and I'm also getting access to Lightroom under the same version on my phone. So I'm going to quickly show, I mean, we are approaching the end of the workshop, so I'm going to quickly show selective and healing. Now, as the name suggests, selective is that it lets you select certain areas and then process only those. So the rest of the features remain the same. Is that, you know, the area to be selected is chosen by the feature when you say selective. I'm going to click on that, and you see this plus on the top left. So what you need to do is click on that, and it shows you the method that you want to use for selective healing, selective edits. So I want to, it's either a brush, that means you can brush on a certain area, or the center one is actually a range, and the third is a gradient system where you can select a gradient method for healing. So I'm going to select the gradient method. So I'm going to click on that, and it gives me, suddenly it gives me a gradient which I can play around with. Okay. So let's say if I were to choose something like this, I want to apply the gradient only in the area above the window. And of course, there is a little bit of feathering on that as well. Now that I've selected the area, I can go select what I want to do in that area. For instance, I want to go and play around with the color. So I'll go click on color, and it'll show me the different things I can do with the color. If I want to do saturation, or let's say hue. Now, the moment I change hue, it lets me actually change the color in that area. Do you see that? So I can, you know, go and selectively change color, and or then go back and change the range. For instance, I want to do part red, part orange, part green, or take it down all the way and apply that, or wherever I want to take it to. Okay. And the moment I click on the tick mark on the top right, it will apply that. So again, if I want to go to selective, I will go plus and choose the center one, which is the range. So it shows me the range I want to apply it to, which can be a circle. Let's say if I just want to apply to this particular panel of the window. And based on that, I will go and choose, for instance, light, and I want to make it darker. So I will work on the exposure of that side. So if you see it's working on the exposure in that area, I'm moving left. Or if I want to make it brighter, I'm taking it right. See, that is giving it additional exposure. So I leave it just a little dark, and I would also increase the blacks. It doesn't show it that much, so I'm going to leave it. We'll see if it affects. Yeah, okay, the shadows. So selective gives you options to select, and I will press on the check mark and accept it, and go ahead and do my selective again with the brush area. So it'll let me choose what area I want to brush. So I've chosen the right window pane, and I want to do, for instance, let's try effects. Let's see if it actually increases the texture over there. Yeah, it's actually become much sharper. So I'm going to go back and not apply it. So you can see that it's made a lot of difference. If I go and increase the texture, it's showing definitely a lot more clarity in that area, a lot more detail from what it was. So if I click the before and the after, it's showing me all the details that have come into it. Okay, so you see the difference it's given me. I will accept it and go back. So selective, as I mentioned, gives me three methods. Hang on a second. Oops. Gradient, range, and a paintbrush. And I can actually choose what area I want to apply it to, and that's what selective edit is. And once I've selected that, I can go ahead and work on any of these details in terms of effects, in terms of colors, in terms of light, detail, optics, or whatever, and I can apply those to it. Okay, so going back, let's see healing. Now, let's see what can I heal. I have zoomed in. I'm going to try healing, which is the first one, which is the Band-Aid. And I've chosen this little piece that is sticking out. Now, what it does is something very interesting. It lets me choose where I want to pick up the piece from. So let's say if I want to pick it up from here, or if I want to pick it up from here. Yeah, this is a good match, and I will match it completely and just leave it. And the moment I leave it, I can do a check. So it has gotten rid of whatever it was there. So I have healed, or I have, kind of got rid of some part of this photograph that I did not need. I can go back, and now you see it has undone the healing that it applied. That's a little piece that was sticking out. So I've been able to heal it. I can also do, let's say if I want to extend it, which is clone stamp. I can go choose clone stamp from the top left selection. So it is doing either healing or cloning. And for instance, I want to clone this particular area. I want to exactly base it on, yeah, so this is a good match. Now it cleans it all up completely. Yeah, or I can go back. Or if I want to move this particular thing in a different place, I can actually click here. I can have healing, clone stamp, and I can do this. here. I can have another one of this come up here, and I've just duplicated it over here, and then I can go and remove it from there. So I can choose where to pick up from and where to apply it to. So it gives me the same detail and the same possibilities. So healing has two options again. One is the first one, which is the band-aid, which is to mostly remove stuff. So I'm able to, let's say, click on this area and, okay, hang on a second. Okay, I just moved that. I am now going to clean up this particular part. Yeah, so there you go. So yeah, something that is a good match for it. And yep, it's gone. And there you go. It's kind of moved up a little bit. Cool. So this is these are some of the features that are available only in the paid version. And the other feature is the geometry version. And let me just go ahead and show you that on a different photograph. Okay. So I just click this on my table. So I have a dirty table. So I just took a photograph of that. So I'm going to go and show you the geometry part of it. Geometry, as the name suggests, is of course features to do with the geometry or the shape of the photograph. Now we'll just play around with it and see what is possible. So distortion is actually dimensional change of zooming in and zooming out from the center, keeping the edges the same. So distortion is typically used in, can come in because of a lens. If you're using a fisheye or a wide angle lens, then you will have something like this or something like this, or it can actually be just used to bring in a certain feature there. Now it's back to 0. Now the other aspect is if I want to rotate it from the center. Okay, so we brought it back. Now these are of course, different things you can try if you have an element that you want to select. Now, unfortunately, this applies it to mostly the entire photograph, or if you are, yeah, so this is the aspect ratio. You're able to work with that and move left, move right, or move above and below. So this is the x-axis. And along the y-axis. Okay, that's pretty much it. It gives you some additional control which you don't have in the unpaid version. So for me, it's not a very big deal to work with geometry. Most of the times, you may want to slightly tweak the geometry if it is you want to be able to before you crop, you can straighten it. So let's say if I want these lines to be straight, I can go and rotate a little bit on this side and see if I've been able to, yeah, they become slightly straighter, but not completely. So the air, yeah, so if you look at the line on top, which is the shadow line, so if I want to keep that straight, I can align it to the frame. And yep, that's pretty much what I can do. And once that is there, then I can go ahead and crop it. Okay, and if I want to do more, so that's where you go. You've been able to straighten that part, align it to the edge, and so that's where it helps for you to do it. And yeah, if you see bottom right corner, there's a little bit of white. I can go ahead and apply healing on that, in the corner. And yeah, so, and I want to take it from here, in, and I can say yes, and it should apply, healing. No, I'll have to crop it because I don't think it is the part of the image, so it's not adding it to the, no, it's not applying it. We'll have to recrop it. Remove that part. There you go. So that's pretty much it. So these are some of the features that are there in the paid version. Yes, selective and healing are great. They can help you a lot if this is your primary software. But there are also other more powerful software like Snapseed, which is able to do a lot more for free. So now Akash says that graduated filter have two options in color, first hue and second color. What is the difference between the two? And I think both of them are doing the same. Okay, let's go and check. Okay, let's take a picture. Let's take this and let's go with selective, and let's say this one. Okay, so let's try and apply it to this. Now in color, you're saying, okay, so let's see what color does. Yeah, you are, I'm sure there's a difference. Saket, you want to jump in over here? It is a very minor difference though. It's letting you select a certain hue.
What?
No,
I was not.
these two different bars, the adjustment of hue and the adjustment of color, they're doing pretty much the same thing actually.
Just
Yeah.
change it.
Sorry.
Just change it once.
Yeah. So I selected the sky.
Yeah.
This is where it was originally, and now I do color. So see, if you see, it is changing the hue up there. If you see right on top, it is playing around with the hue also. So it is, color is a blend of hue and saturation. Yeah.
Yes.
In that area. Whereas hue only affects the hue part of it. So color affects both. It's increasing and decreasing saturation and hue both. So I guess that is the difference between the two. Okay, so feel free to type out any other questions you may have. We can, both Saket and I can try and take the questions from you. We have the chat box. It's already 10 past 1, but we are happy to take on questions if you have any questions. We can go back to Snapseed if you have any questions on Snapseed as well. Might have questions after using these applications. I can understand, definitely. So the group will stay active. You are a part of the WhatsApp group. I think all of you are currently on the group. If not, please do write it on the, we've added, most of you, I think we've added to the group. So there should not be a problem. And otherwise, hang on a second, let me go back to Zoom, stop sharing my screen. Okay, cool. So you are a part of the group. Vikram was added on the group already. And Sanjay, I think you've also been added to the group. So keep posting on the group. If you have any questions, let us know. We will be happy to answer them. And I think we should be able to finish the workshop. Anything else you want to talk about, Saket? About the presets and how will you send the presets to them?
So we'll
Through the app?
Yeah. Upload everything to the app, and I'm going to create a batch in the app where all the content will be uploaded, so that people have access to this video plus all the other resources as well.
Perfect, great. So
I hope everybody is a member on the app. They have downloaded the app and they're kind of trying it out or using it, because we have a lot of content that is being uploaded on a very regular basis. If somebody is having any issues in using the app, please let me know. I'll take you guys through.
great. So thank you so much, everyone, for another amazing Sunday afternoon spent with us, morning and afternoon. If please feel free to ask questions on the group. Once you've experimented and tried, share your pictures on the group. We would love to see what you try out with. Get to see your pictures, get to see your amazing work. And if you don't mind, and please tell us if you would like feedback for those pictures, then we will give you feedback. But we would just like to see what you do. And Shikha, yes, we should do some photo walk. It's been a long time. We didn't do any active shoot thanks to Corona. And of course, that's the way life is. But we will try and figure out how we can go out as a group and maybe shoot maybe another couple of months once things ease out a little bit, and we can try. But stay connected with us, stay connected on the app, and stay connected on the groups. And we would love to see your photographs, see your edits, and answer your questions. And keep coming for our workshops. That's always a good way to stay in touch with us. So thank you, Saket. Very well done. Some really good information shared. And if all of you like what he did, so please put a big thank you on the chat to Saket. He's shared a lot of amazing details, and he's the man for today. I just talk, and he does all the work. So that's what it is. Perfect. Great. Thank you, and have a great rest of the Sunday, and we will meet very soon. All yours, Kshitij. We can close the workshop now.
Awesome. Thank you, guys. Thank you for attending. Have a great week ahead. See you guys.
Thank you. Bye, Kshitij. Bye, Saket.
see you. Bye bye.